Hello everyone. This lesson is about using the centerline to find the balance of the figure. I'm going to do a few demonstrations here to show you. First of all, I've got this centerline here at 7.5 centimeters, and the head is about 1 centimeter. So that's about the head is the unit of measure, so it's about 7.5 heads, the average figure. Okay, so this is, the most basic of figures. Just simply the stick figure. Halfway point is here. Hips about here. So this is straight on, this figure, to demonstrate to you. In the leg, we've got about, from the crotch area, about 4 head lengths in an idealized model, according to the Andrew Loomis system. But I prefer to be a bit more natural and look at the figure as 7.5 heads. Well, I'm not the only one that thinks that, of course, but Andrew is certainly an outstanding teacher, and you can learn a lot from him, and I'll certainly be using a lot of his work as a reference. Right, so here's the arms, and that's about a head length, and another head length for that, and the hand comes down to about mid-thigh there, and likewise. So this is your straight-on stick figure proportions of the figure. So just once again, you've got the head here, you've got the breast here coming across, that would be the breast. You've got the waist just coming in here. You've got the crotch just here, and the top of the hips here, and then the start of the next part. So legs about 3.5, 4 head lengths, 3.5 in this case. So basically we can look at the whole figure as being to that midpoint. The crotch is the midpoint, so that's about half, that's about half. Okay, so that's the basic figure. Let's look at, say he wants to wants to pick up something on the ground, a suitcase perhaps. So let's bring him down a little bit, and those proportions will change, of course, but we won't worry. I'll just try and demonstrate to you where we might be. About here. Okay, I can take a line out like that. I can bring this even further. I think I'll really stretch it down a bit, about 1 centimeter for that head. Right, and then we'll have the shoulders going across like so. Then we can have the pelvis be more or less in the same position, slightly lower. And the rib cage. Okay, so his hips will be about here, and they'll be at an angle. So we can see here we've got shoulders at an angle like so, and the hips at an angle like so, and the legs will come off. So that one will just bend slightly because he's bending down, he's reaching for something on the ground, as I mentioned, and that'll come into that center line, that foot. This one will be out a little bit. This is bearing more weight than this. You can see that it comes into the center line. That's the weight bearing leg mostly, but this is also bearing a little bit of weight, and he's standing more on his toe there because he's reaching down, as I said. Right. Now these are very basic drawings, simply to demonstrate, and I'll put his arm, demonstrate the basics of the weight distribution. That's what we're concerned with here, and we'll just give him a basic thumb and finger there, and let's make him reach down. One head length, another head length, and the hand, you can see the hand is well below this one here, and we'll do that. And he's reaching down for this suitcase. Okay, so let's have him pick up that suitcase now. So we can put him back here and just put his head at a tilt slightly this way. And if we can imagine doing a line of action. Now, line of action is something that I'd like to demonstrate to you quite a way through all of this video. It's very important to get a sense of movement in your work. So we might just bring that outside. This is spine, crossing over and just coming back into this crotch area, and have his hips throwing like that. Just draw the pelvis circle and the oval for the rib cage. Okay, so he's got this weight-bearing leg again. Come down to the knee, come down to the foot. So the weight-bearing leg is on that center line, and he's just got this out a little bit to keep balance. He's got to, apart from the center line like so, we've got to get the idea that we're always trying to balance our body because we want to stay upright. Okay, so he's picked up the suitcase now. We'll do a head length and another head length and a hand. We'll just refine that hand just rudimentarily. And so he's got the suitcase in his hand now. Rudimentary is the word I was struggling with then. Okay, so he's picked up the suitcase, and what will we do? Is he in balance, or does he need a little bit extra something out here? So why don't we have his arm reaching out and going like so. Okay, so there you have it, the three basic stick figures. Now I'd like to move on to an action figure using the same principle. Okay, so let's have a head right out like so on this side of the center line, and we can have some shoulders right up here, pretty high up actually, because she's really stretching out. So her shoulders will start here, and her arm will go like so, hand on hip. But this is the beauty. This is the part that I really love here, because of this dynamic stretching. So her breast comes up much higher. As you saw here, the breast was down around here, right? So in this case, she's really stretching up high. I don't quite know what she's reaching for. Maybe she's just adopting that pose. It feels good. Now, what we can do is, using the center line of her rib cage now, not this center line, the center line of her rib cage, which has been pushed right out, and we can bring that in there, and just to try and make it look a little bit more like the rib cage. So her breast is way up here. Okay, so what's going to happen now? She's got her hips here, and they're fairly straight, but this line of action is really something, because even her right leg is coming way past that center line. So this is a very dynamic pose. How is she managing to balance? So maybe, yeah, just bring that around now. Imagine the calf muscle, and she can be just on, I would say, just on. When we draw the figure, we'll start to see just how much she is in balance. Now, I'm not making excuses, but I'm at a slight disadvantage here when I'm drawing, because I'm at an angle, because otherwise you'd be getting my head in the picture, and that wouldn't be good. Okay, so how can we do this? We'll get this leg right out, and it'll be 1, 2, maybe 2.5 heads out. Okay, so there's the knee, and then it stretches right out. So that's beautiful. And we can do something with this arm now. So it's a very dynamic pose. I might have that arm just a little bit too long there. Okay, so that's there, and she's got a hand just touching the top. Okay, so I just have to move a bit so I can see the picture a little bit better. Right, okay, I might take out this center line now. Now this is great to see. I just have to hold it. Yeah, I think I'm right. Okay, this is a bit too long. Okay, so that's all right. Now, what's really good about this, first of all, I'll give her just a little bit of, I might switch to a different pencil here. I might switch to this one. I'll give her just a little bit of features, and she's looking up, perhaps, maybe a slight classical pose, and she can have some hair. I'll just do a little bit of sketching on it, because I really want to focus on that pose. So we can say that her eyes will be about midway, and her nose will be there, and there's a proportion in Andrew Loomis which is really great. I'll go into that in more detail in another video, but let's get this. I think we could get this even higher. I might just increase the size of that just slightly. I mean, these things are arbitrary. They're generally what the proportion is, but of course every individual is different. Okay, what can we do with her? Want a little costume for her. Okay, well, I know what's going to happen, which would be really nice, and I really want to talk about this too, is that because you've got this fantastic stretching out, and I'd really like to push it even further, frankly. I really love that, the way that's pushed out, and because she's pushing that out, this is coming right in, and it's demonstrating the beauty of the human figure, that we've got so much flexibility when we're fit and healthy, and we can do so much. I love the Chinese gymnasts. There's a troupe that are really great. Okay, yeah. Why don't we put a nice? She could be a cheerleader. I'm fond of the cheerleaders because they're so dynamic and interesting. Okay, so. I want to just get this leg, so that'll come into there, and yeah, it'll just nicely. I won't do too much variation, but yeah, we could even push that out a bit further. See, as you get more, forget all this technical stuff now you go into creative mode, and that's, you feel good because you know it's pretty right. It might need a lot of, I mean, this is a quick sketch, so I can't spend all day on it, but you get the idea, hopefully. And so isn't that terrific? That leg thrust right out like so. It was so beautiful. And look for the space in here, which will be very helpful too. This space here I'm talking about. But also, of course, the other thing is about this is that you're drawing this without photo reference. If you want to be a cartoonist or a manga artist, you can't be finding photo reference all the time for your work. You have to learn the anatomy and find out where everything is. You have to learn proportions, etc. Yeah, I think that's working. Okay, maybe just this is a very nice feature. Just there is her, it's called the manubrium, that little part there, and that's where a lot of these central lines come from. So she can have a V neck, and that hair is covering that, of course. And you look for these graceful lines. Of course, if I spend more time, I'll get it just right. But you know, we have to consider the length of the video and that kind of thing. So that seems to be okay. Yeah, I'd like to just try and demonstrate a few more. I hope you get the idea with that. I forgot to do this. Well, I didn't get around to doing that arm there, but so very quickly, everyone, we'll just go through that. The bending figure. Okay, so the bending figure is about 5 heads. We'll give him his rib cage. He's reaching down to pick something up. There's his shoulders. There's an arm length, head length, and he's there picking up the key. This is his left arm coming down to balance out there, and got this sweeping, arching back, coming back to his hips, and the legs are pretty close together in this case, but it's in balance. We've got our dancing guy here. Okay, so he's really enjoying this dance. So his rib cage is there, his shoulders at that angle, arm is like so, coming out to balance. This one's coming nicely over here, and notice the way that little point, the manubrium there, where the center line comes from. And here are these hips coming here. And right out, so we can see he's still in balance, he's not going to fall over. So that's the beauty of this system. And once again, our lady over here, can't have time obviously to to smarten it up too much, but you got the idea, hopefully, and I'm sure you did. Okay, so there's my my lesson on how to balance the figure. And I just have time to just show you one little thing, and this is I actually got this online, but I had this when I was a boy many years ago. Animation by Preston Blair, and he was a Walt Disney artist, and he is an excellent guy on line of action. So you can see he's really good at explaining, and it's highly exaggerated, but it gives you the idea. So better to push it further, like so. Beautiful, it's so rhythmic. And where do we have, this one here, right. And these little guys, just one line, but it tells the whole story and gives life to the picture. Anyway, that's probably all I've got time for today. Please, I hope you enjoyed and got something out of this video, and if you could support my channel by subscribing, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a comment as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.